NRW, where we always give you the NEW. I am Kuya P, and I'm joined by my big homie from Level Up Comedy. I'm talking about Glenn Lawrence. How are you, my brother?
I am doing well. I'm doing fine. And I am wondering, just like we do every week, what the fuck?
Yes, sir. We are back with another What the Fuck. And hopefully it'll be carried next week with the election results. But I'm sure it's not, because that motherfucker's going to, protest the hell out of it. But anyway, that's for another What the Fuck. This week's What the Fuck, we have the New York Post endorsing that Orange Menace, along with Brett Favre and Lil Wayne. I have added them all to my cancel list, bro. How do you feel about the New York Post, Brett Favre and Lil Wayne, and the whole Trump thing?
Brett Favre. Listen, you support who you support.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think it's
so you're not down with cancel culture.
I'm not. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I want to figure out what is the reason, what's the rationale, because I don't think you went trying to ignore things. I feel like cancel culture is a bunch of like, la, 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 I don't want to listen to you anymore. La 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 la. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I feel like that's very. I understand it. I understand the upsetness but the problem is people want to have power and they feel powerless. And the only thing they can do is this thing called trying to cancel, is trying to gain back power. But you have to understand that that's not real power. It's like, it's like you're not actually figuring out how to, fix the situation. I get this a lot, like where I see something and then if I don't 100% agree with how you think, then all of a sudden it's like cancel that person, which I think is silly. You know what I'm saying? Now, Wayne has said a lot of like dumb shit. So it's like, I don't know who's like following him anyway. You know what I mean? As in terms of like politics or whatever, like he like not great decisions. There's tattoos all over your face, bro. Like, great rapper. I'm probably not going to take a lot of decisions, from him. Like, but the one thing I will say is, because I don't like to cancel, I look at what is the reason why Lil Wayne did that. And in his statement, he was talking about black ownership. And I'm like, black ownership, I can get down with. Now, I could sit down with Wayne and explain like why we could get more ownership under a different president, but you know what I mean? There are issues that need to be resolved, and I quite frankly don't think like one candidate is going to represent us right now. I feel like we're in a rock and a hard place. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm doing the thing that needs to be done to save the country. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can't fault people if they see it the other way and they're like, oh, this is how I see it. But I just think, I don't know. It's like, I saw a graphic of like the tax cuts and like how the taxes would be higher under Biden and Trump or whatever. And I made the joke because it was like a difference of like $4,000. I was like, oh, $4,000 is the cost of a soul nowadays. Cool. Like, I didn't know it's pretty cheap. That's pretty deflationary. You know what I mean? Like, because $4,000 I don't think is enough to say I would go along with all the pain that has been caused within the last 4 years.
I hear you.
That was a long explanation. I feel like you're like, nah, man, fuck it. We can cut to the chase. Fuck that guy.
I want to let you speak, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we're doing, especially because we're living in a virtual world, we have to do this, through the Skype. And when people talk over each other, you don't hear some of the commentary. Right. So I definitely wanted you to get that out there. I echo a lot of what you're saying. I have my various issues with cancel culture as well. I'll just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when there's people I like. Like I liked Brett Favre, how you say his last name.
Yeah.
He was a great football player. I'm a big football guy. But I'm not surprised by his politics. He is a white man and a very rich white man. And Lil Wayne, I enjoy his hip hop. I enjoy his rap, but he isn't the smartest tool in the shed. Like you said, the brother got tattoos all over the place.
But I mean, they both have money, and one common thread is people are saying they don't want their taxes to go up. Yeah. And I think, see, the problem I have with canceling because someone made a decision is this. People are saying that they don't want their taxes to go up, right? And I was just watching a video. It had Brandon Marshall, it had Chad Johnson on there, and I forget who the third gentleman was who was talking. He was saying, like, I have a lot of money. I'm the richest friend that I know. I'm okay with seeing my seeing less come to me because I'm going to be all right, because I know the people who don't have as much, they benefit from that. And the Chad Johnson and Brandon Marshall were like, I don't want to give up my paycheck for this. And I'm like, but I feel like the more you have that kind of sharing mentality, the better it is for the world, because we've seen kind of what things have devolved into, and they haven't been good. You know what I mean? Like there has to be a some type of idea of sharing and trying to make things better, because they're just not great right now. When you don't cancel, then then you actually like analyze like what is going on. How can I explain this point better to a Lil Wayne or a Brett Favre? To be like, listen, I know you want to hold your ducats, but you actually get to hold more of your ducats, and you're not afraid to go to the Walmart, because what they have in other countries. Sorry, I'm going on a rant now. What they have in other countries and other places is people have private security. That's because people own so much and people have so little that they'll rob and do all this other stuff. So now it's like, okay, you got all that money, you get to hold it, but now around you, everybody doesn't have anything, and people are always trying to take your stuff. It might have been okay if you had a little bit less and you felt more secure and you could walk down the street or whatever. And just that's my mindset on it. But you can't fault other people for having a different mindset. I think you just have to be able to communicate to them why it is to their benefit to give more.
I hear you, and that's part of my issue. And I think the commonality with a lot of that is just about money. There's only just a concern about money. There's so many other issues that are big in regards to this decision that we have to make by voting. Race relations, LGBTQIA, the future, the environment. There's a lot of issues, but to me, just
education, the coronavirus, the healthcare,
pandemic.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly what you said, and you said it brilliantly. Like you wish you could sit down with a brother and can I talk to you about this, that, and the third? And that's not happening. And when you just see these people coming out, these celebrities and it's just the commonality is money sometimes, and it's disheartening. And that's why I guess, again, I don't have a problem with cancel culture. So I'm like with it, cancel that motherfucker, fuck them, because that's the only thing that they're caring about sometimes.
Here's my thing about it too. It's like, so now, like, so we get upset when you hear black people aren't a monolith, you know what I mean? And then you have a black person come out and say like something that he's against that's not necessarily what other black, then it's like, oh, we need to cancel him. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of crazy. But the other thing is like we have not, or we haven't, right, engaged like a Lil Wayne or these other people or whatever to be like, yo, this is why it benefits you or whatever. But then as soon as he says something, then everybody jumps on that. So everybody is really reactionary when it comes to these things. You know what I mean? Like, were we reaching out to these rappers and whatever before to say, listen, don't go to the dark side. Here's why. You know what I mean? It's like at the fact. So, I mean, my personal opinion is taking personal responsibility for how we got to this situation. So that means me. I'm taking personal responsibility, and I can't be like, I'm gonna cancel Lil Wayne because he came to a different decision. I didn't reach out to I wasn't tweeting him like, hey, don't do this or whatever. So until we start doing that, then it's like, yo, you had all the facts and then you didn't do this. Now, I don't know what facts he had or didn't or whatever, but I'm just saying, I think trying to communicate things is a better way than trying to cancel things. You know what I mean? Like, make it a learning experience versus cancel, because then everybody's like, well, then fuck you. I know a lot of people who that cancel energy makes them say, I'm gonna vote the other way. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody wants to cancel. Well, it's like, well, then fuck you. Then I'll just vote for, like, because they're not in that same mindset of like, oh, like, put somebody out to pasture or whatever. Like, I don't like that. That feels weird, and it leads us down a weird road. So, not that I'm saying I agree with Wayne or whatever. What I'm saying is, I think we need to be able to communicate better, like what our wants are of these people, so that they can address them properly, as opposed to like now, you know what I mean? It's done deal now, you know.
I hear you. I understand. I just again, I think some people are just like, we are. This is, you should be living in the world. You shouldn't keep there's a lot of people that are living with blinders, and because of where they are in their status, they're not paying attention. And there's a lot of people that are in there at the moment. I would say the majority are in that moment. They are educated. They know what's going on, and we're not putting up with shit anymore, especially with the times that are existing right now. This year is a complete display of it. If you're not paying attention, this is what can happen. We are living that truth right now.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I don't know.
Stay educated. Stay aware. Stay woke.
I feel like we, like, pretty much as a country, we just kind of got what we deserve. You know what I mean? Like we've brought,
ignorance is bliss with these people.
Yeah, we've brought like kind of all this on ourselves. So until we start analyzing that and figuring that out, I don't think we can. You know, the problem is you keep getting what you deserve, and you know, we like, you know, it feels like we don't deserve you know, this guy in office, because it's like it's a lot of people are going through a lot of things, but I mean, it is, you reap what you sow, and now that's what we have. So hopefully throughout the last 4 years we learned some lessons and we could get back on track, but we'll find out in a few days.
We'll find out at the next what the fuck. And I hope it isn't a major what the fuck. Oh my god, I'm thinking about that now in my head. I swear to God, I hope this isn't a major what the fuck. But before that fucks me up right now, I'll move to the next topic, because I don't want to think about that. I'm staying optimistic. Oh Lord, that just fucks me up just now. We'll put it, you know what? I need to turn it to a positive one real quick, or something just a little bit different. In Dallas, brother, you have this link over there. I'm going to click on it as well. In East Dallas, a home Halloween decoration prompted multiple police visits. I saw a little bit of pictures of it here and there. I'm going to go click on it now to take a look at this one more time.
Yeah, man.
Wow. So I'm going to throw that up on the screen as we're talking about it. You guys can see it right now. I got to say, as a Halloween horror fan, that's pretty fucking cool. If my neighbor was doing that, I would want to go take some pictures and I'd be all about it. But I can understand why the police would be called. Glenn, what do you think about this?
I'm personally not like a horror and death and blood and gore type person. So I personally, if it was I wouldn't want to see that every day. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to see a murder scene every day. Like, I have neighbors right now that put like skeletons and stuff in their windows and black it out. And I'm like, do we really need that in the middle of a pandemic? Do we need to, like, what if, because you know how like sometimes you can't get to taking down your decorations. What if something major happens and now we just have the skeleton in the window for months and months and months? You know, it just feels really odd. This here, it's very creative, but I'm like, that's a lot. I could understand why the cops would stop by, but I'm a big fan of, like, are the cops necessary for everything? I don't think so.
Yeah, they should have. It's a lot. And I can see why it would be much.
What's in the wheelbarrow? Is that foot and
body parts? If you scroll down, you have even different versions or different angles.
Yeah, that's a lot. The blood
super creative. The blood is probably, which is what takes it a lot further along than it should. Wow. And if you keep on scrolling, bro, there's like one where there's a safe that's came down from the person that was on the roof. That smashes the head. Wow. Yeah. It's just, they really took the gore level to the extreme. Super cool, but I can understand why the cops came. And if there's little kids in that neighborhood, as a parent, having to explain that every day might be something.
It's a lot. I mean, if that goes up maybe, a few days before Halloween, which I guess it did. That's cool. But for me personally, I'm not I'm a big, I feel like right now I'm being a very big wet blanket. Like, oh, I don't like it. But I mean, it's creative. It is what it is. I can't you make a fairy scene? Like
it's not scary. It's Halloween, bro.
Make a Peter Pan Wonderland.
All right, so that's a very interesting Halloween decoration. Now we'll go back to more what the fuck. The Senate confirmed Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. We talked about this in previous what the fuck episodes, but it finally went through. Your feeling on the future of the Supreme Court there, brother?
Shocking right now to see what's going on, dude. It's a weird world that we live in where, somebody who has like a year maybe judge experience or something like that is a very short time judging. She hasn't done many cases or whatever. Very skinny resume to be on one of the highest courts in the land. You know how many people have worked their entire life for that, and then she has basically, she does it as a soccer mom. It's kind of a slap in the face, I feel like. But I mean, I feel like
because we've been tracking on this, but I just, there was arguments of like, can we wait till after the election? That was a thing that was being put.
No, that's it. She's been confirmed. She's on there. Unless the Senate is the final say. The House didn't have a say. Unless they roll back things from this presidency or whatever. Like that's the only way. But otherwise, she's lifetime appointment. She's in there.
So this is done. It's a done deal now.
That's a done deal. She's on the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's it. It's a wrap.
So
I just think it's odd to not have the qualifications, and if you just think about how hard it is to work for all this stuff, and then someone just kind of jumps in there like that, and then I mean the fact is you had all these senators who say these things like integrity and we shouldn't appoint a judge in the last year of a president, and then they do something like this. It's just I mean, if it's not clear right now that they're like not being truthful, just trying to get their way, trying to win by any means necessary, not even necessary, like right now it's not even a point of governing, you know what I mean? It's kind of like we are in charge no matter what type attitude that they're taking. It's like, yo, there's a lot of people who think someone else should be in charge. Like, you should let other people be in charge. You haven't done a good job of running things thus far. And I feel like as long as they have that metric of the stock market, they'll be able to say that they should be in charge, and people will agree with that. And until that comes down, I don't know that a lot of this changes, because the idea is that, well, it must be okay, and there's just enough people who are kind of okay with it to make it continue happening like this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is scary as fuck, and I'm super scared for the future, bro, to be honest with you. So my only hope is in what was somewhat discussed but not confirmed by Biden and Kamala is that came up somewhat in the debates, where we may add other members to the Supreme Court to help balance that out. He may appoint a couple of other additional, if he's elected, they may add to the Supreme Court, so that would help kind of with the judging, and just get just more just to help along with votes, I guess, to cut ties, because we know the decision was made to help give Republican conservative ideology the majority within the Supreme Court. We know this. Right. We know that's why it was rushed. So if they add more seats, I'm hoping that can happen, because it's a very scary thought. I don't know about you, but how you feel about adding seats?
No, I think it's crazy to have 9 people decide the direction of the country.
Yeah.
At their own will and at their own whim, especially when a lot of those people are appointed by a minority of the popular vote, because a lot of these are conservatives, and the conservatives routinely don't win the popular vote. That means most of the people who are in the country don't agree with the views of these people who are being appointed. Mm-hmm. But there's a large enough contingent that it feels like they do represent something, but they don't. If the popular vote should have more say in things.
Yeah. Super scary. This one's this one's kind of funny and it's just ridiculous. And I was made more aware of it from your tweeting or your post on Facebook. Trump had a rally and I guess spoke to some of his people in Omaha and left them stranded and freezing in the cold. Why don't you explain more of this story, Glenn?
Oh, so there's a rally, and I don't know. There's a rally at a field,
another super spreader event, by the way.
Yeah, there's a rally at a field out in Omaha, and President Trump flew in there on Air Force One. There's thousands of people out there, and they had to get bused to the occasion because there wasn't a way to get there. So they got all these buses to get them in, and then nobody told to keep the buses running, and those guys went home to a nice hot meal and left all those people stranded. So there were cops out there trying to figure out how to get these people back to their cars or whatever. But I just think it's an interesting metaphor for what's going on. It's like you get there, get the photo up, but then it's like I'm out. And and listen, here's the thing. Like, I like to be fair about the situation. Trump individually, what is he, did he know that? I don't know, but it does speak to a level of incompetence where it's like people should be in charge of running the event. You've run events before, you've seen events. Like, there's got to be someone who's thinking about these things. Like, how does the line go? Where does it go? How are people going to get home? Is there going to be enough to eat? Are there porta potties? You know what I mean? Like, it's an event planning thing. And if you have a campaign, the people in that campaign should be planning better. And judged by that, as well as everything you've seen with COVID and everything else, it's like the planning and the forethought isn't there. So what makes you think the planning and the forethought is there for the rest of the governance?
I have to put it on Trump because he has a history of ignorance at past events and that have had multiple casualties and issues that occurred after the event. He's had way too many. He has actually a lifetime. He's never really made great decisions. It's known. So I can't put ignorance on that with him. It just, again, just the people behind it that do support him. Just, to me, it's karma.
I'm not trying to
get your ass. You want to be as dumb as him? Go ahead, get sick. You're dumb as fuck.
I'm not trying to put it. What I'm saying is like,
I got you.
Like, I don't know. Like, as a leader, though, you probably could look out and say, like, wow, how are these people going to get home or whatever, or wonder about it. There's probably no curiosity there. I'm just saying, fair being fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure, other people have had rallies and they weren't involved in the planning of the buses to get people in and out. Right. That's a campaign thing. So, it's if you're talking about it, I feel like you kind of like be like fair on trying to analyze the situation. Like, okay, he probably didn't know what the deal with the buses is, but that is your campaign thing. And at the end of the day, you're the one overlooking all these people. You should probably look out and be like, shit, I wonder how all these people are getting home. Hey, Johnny, whatever. Are these people all right getting home? All right, cool. I'm gonna hop on my plane and get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're hopping on a plane and leaving, it's like, wait, what's happening with all those people? I don't see any buses around. What's like, it would just click to me. Like, how are you getting home? You know what I'm saying? Like, haven't you ever been to a party and you looked at everybody and be like, yo, how you getting home?
This guy. So let's keep talking about this guy and his crazy things that he's been doing. Did you hear, Glenn? Did you know, Glenn, that the COVID-19 pandemic has already been overcome? We've overcome it. The White House has stated it. We have ended COVID-19.
I just don't.
Trump has listed it as his accomplishment this week. We are done with COVID. Did you know? I didn't know.
I don't know how that jives. I don't know how that.
Because at the same time, Glenn, as you and I both know, it's surging actually, and it just spiked a hell of a lot more this past week. So to call it an accomplishment when it's spiking,
here's the issue, and this is what I
don't understand, bro.
Here's the issue, and here's what I feared with the thing. Once it starts getting colder and the weather starts getting colder, it's just it's a different situation. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't outdoors as much; they're indoors. When it's cold, your immune system's a little bit weaker. All these things are kind of adding up, and we don't know which way things are going to go. So to declare it gone when you see cases are rising, but then say, oh well, the death rate isn't there. The thing is, this disease has shown many times that it has a potential for exponential growth, which exponential growth, like if you watch a video of something growing exponentially, like I saw this video, if something's growing exponentially, and so you look at a clock, right, and there's 60 minutes on that phase, at which minute do you think you notice that something is growing out of control on that clock for exponential growth out of 1 hour?
Yeah.
So the second hand would keep going. You would not realize that the exponential growth was taking hold until the 58th or 59th minute on that clock.
Okay.
So right now everyone's like, everything's fine. Exponential growth is going to pop at those last 2 minutes. And by then it's like, oh shit, like what do we do? Because it's out of, there's the deaths are they're not going up, but the growth is exponential. So one day you have 2, the next day you have 4, the next day you have 8, then 16, 32, then 100. You notice how those numbers are smaller. But then once you get to something like, like 1, like, you know what I mean? Like 128, then the next one's 256, then it's 512, then it's 1,000, and then it's 2,000, then it's 4,000. And then if you notice, that's what exponential growth does. It starts going, and then those, all of a sudden once you have 4,000 a day, then the next thing is 8,000, and then it's 16,000. And then, you know what I mean? Those numbers pop all of a sudden. So right now we're like, oh, it's not a bunch of death. It's not it's fine, but we had 1,000 deaths reported, on the day that they we got the report that, oh, the deaths are almost nothing. That's what they said, but the campaign said the deaths are a lot more than nothing.
It's horrifying.
It's a lot more than nothing.
Let's call it what it is. It's horrifying. And the people who
it's very scary. Part of me is like, and I think that's where other people, because the hope is that oh, he's right, we did round the corner, it all is a hoax, because that means they're not going to happen. But if they're wrong and there is exponential growth like everybody's telling us, we're going to see something really wild. And the problem is, if he were to get back in, then you have somebody who is known to not tell the truth while this thing is going out of control, and he's not going to want the narrative to be that it's going out of control. So then you're in a real bad situation, and there's going to be a bunch of people who aren't going to believe it, but hopefully they'll still be going to the rallies because and experience it firsthand.
Karma, please, karma. All right, that shit's scary, and you know what, this other part is a little scary too.
Don't you have any good news? Like
I'm gonna get to it, and when we can make fun of, but this is the what the fuck, and so we're delivering what the fuck, because that's what 2020 has been. Disney laid off 11,350 Orlando area employees. No, but it's very sad for people to lose their job. I don't know if there's anything we can add to that other than it is just another what the fuck. So I don't know how you feel about the mouse, but just sad to see people lose their jobs. I'm gonna move forward from that one because I don't think there's much to say on that, because we're already sad with this shit.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, Disney's kind of iconic. To see that many people kind of get laid off or whatever, you wonder what's going to happen. How's it going to come back? But again, it's not a matter of oh, everything's closed, let's open it back up. The fact of the matter is, even if you open it back up, people are getting sick. It's a real thing that's happening. So you don't actually have the ability to open back up, because then your entire staff gets sick anyway, and then you have to close anyway. Yeah. So it's a catch-22. You can't do anything until you deal with the actual root problem. But that's the thing that we've always had here. But this virus has just kind of exposed all of that. Like, we don't deal with root problems. We kind of want short-term solutions to the issue. But
I hear you.
It's a
and I will say I give props to Click Orlando, the news station that put out this report about even though they said Disney laid off 11,350 Orlando area employees, they also added, as part of this article, the total of Central Florida workers affected by the pandemic has now reached 18,000 people. So, yes, people are getting laid off, but
that was it.
Because people are working, and then
Wow.
the pandemic is spreading. So yeah, we can't have these people working, and then again they're getting sick, and all of that is occurring. So there's reasons why we have to have better government to figure out how to handle this, keep people employed, but also keep people safe. And the bottom line is to keep people safe.
We gotta have a strategy.
Exactly. And we know there's no strategy right now. Keeping it moving. Here's one that is just, this girl is living in her own world. She's beautiful. She's fine. She's got a fat ass, but we are living in the period we're living in right now. Kim Kardashian, did you hear about this? Her birthday trip and her posts that she put out about how she had like this whole private island birthday party. And the family also did like this fake, they did it with Tupac, like this laser version of their father, Robert Kardashian. They just kind of had this blowout party while everybody else is, trying to stay 6 feet away from each other. Here Kim is, talking about, hey, I'm 40 and I'm living it up. And then I have like this hologram version of my pops right here. And just, I'm kind of like two ways on this. Like, if you have the means, you're able to, I just wouldn't have put it out there. I wouldn't have shared it. You know what I'm saying?
What is the problem? The fact that she went on a trip?
She was kind of gloating about it, I guess, is what I understand. And so there's just a lot of the fact that she just kind of put it out there. People were just like, bitch, I'm trying to, I don't have a job no more. I don't have this. And you're gloating about, everything you have. And then that's what I'm kind of mixing. And I think you probably feel the same way. If you had it, cool. I just wouldn't gloat about the shit. But at the same time, it's my Twitter. You're the one following me. I should be able to celebrate my achievements,
I mean but that's the whole point of, Twitter and all this stuff. It's escapism. You're escaping and watching somebody. Like, I didn't even know, because I don't follow or, like watch, intently. I don't watch other people's lives or whatever, but I guess other people do.
But it was,
so I just feel like if that's what you're doing, isn't that what you're doing it for? Just to, like, you're stuck at home. Can't you live through this other person who's not stuck at home?
Yeah.
But this is why I personally just wouldn't have posted. I think you do have to be very cognizant of how much hurt there is out there in the country. You know what I'm saying? So it's can't. Tone deaf. It's very tone deaf. It's very kind of let them eat cake moment or whatever. I get what she's saying, but at the same time, it's like, for someone who is talking about like prison reform and saving lives and all these other things, you would think that they would be more empathetic to what's going on in the country. But also, I mean, she probably works a lot. It's like, fuck, I need a break.
Yeah.
Just like all of us. There's not one person right now who's locked down on quarantine who complained about that would not have taken the trip had they got the opportunity and had the means. Because we all need it. We all need a break. We all need a vacation. So that's the thing. So, on one hand, it's tone deaf, but on the other hand, it's like, if you had the means, you would have did it too. So, so keep that in mind when you're, tweeting out to your favorite celebrity that you're upset.
Yeah, the whole then this plays all into that whole kind of
personal responsibility. She needs to take it for herself. You need to take it for following her,
All right, my brother. So let's turn it into some positive. That was all of the big what the fuck
my goodness, I'm
week.
Sweating through all that negativity,
dude. Big news, The Mandalorian is back. Season 2 is here.
Yes,
and if you tune to the review section of the NRW channel, you'll have our review. Me and my buddy Mac got together with some other friends with the on the NRW squad and some new friends.
We did.
And good times. Mandalorian season 1 is out. Season 2 is out. Looking forward to the whole new season. So check out that review. And also, as Glenn has been giving us Spider-Man film news, we have some Spider-Man game news, and we're gonna go to that tab real quick. Glenn and I are about to watch the Into the Spider-Verse suit reveal for PlayStation 5 Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. You ready to watch this, Glenn? Check out.
I'm ready. Let's get it.
Footage. All right, I'm excited. I'm a big Spidey head, man. Let's do this.
Just pinged it.
You ready?
Look at that. It looks just like the woo. It looks like we're watching the movie again. And this is actual gameplay, bro. Oh, this is sick. Oh, did you see that light?
Nearby if they're hijacking that billboard.
Man, games are like beyond what we had when we were a kid, dude.
I remember playing a Spider-Man game though back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Locking on.
This is real sweet.
All right. Now to track them down. Underground's trying to get the press to notice them more. Maybe they should launch
an interesting. It's interesting how he flies through the air.
Yeah.
Like he has more fun with it than the regular Spider-Man, I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, different flavor, bro. It's Miles, man. You know,
yeah,
different cattle. You know. So to get that distinction, you know, it's just great characterization to differentiate between the characters. I think is beautiful. But these visuals, man. Oh, look. You on that where he can do the camouflage powers now?
Yeah.
That is sweet. Wow. I love it. Pretty sick, man. All right. All right. We won't watch too much more of this. We could probably watch this for a while.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
How much footage? Oh, there's 10 minutes of footage.
Yeah. We're not gonna switch you it all.
Oh, he's getting it. Oh, you get a lot of moves. Oh, nice. Oh, he's got the electricity.
Oh, you still got it going. You still got it going.
Okay, hold on. I just saw this finisher.
Yeah.
Oh.
You ready to pick up that PS5 now, bro? I'll tell you what, we have PlayStation people that are following our channel, and I know on our Twitter feed, some of the marketing cats. I'm looking at you, Sony. I know you're watching us. We would love that sponsorship. We would love to do some playthroughs for y'all. So go ahead, hook us up. You know, me and my boy Glenn need that PlayStation. Well, we got the 4. I need that PS5. I didn't get my
yeah, man. PS5. Done. I love it. The tuxedo. Let me get it.
You know, yeah, it is a wild looking system. But that looks great. I'm keen on it. You can't go wrong with Spider-Man for me.
Yeah, man, it looks really cool. I got all the way to the finishing move, which I thought was really dope. And I like the way he's flying through the air. I like the character models. I like the animations or whatever. It looks like it's real smooth and fluid and intuitive. Yep. You got to feel what it's like when you get the control in your hand. But this is a double thumbs up for me.
Same. So I think that was a positive way to end this after a big what the fuck week. Hopefully our next what the fuck episode will have some glimmer of hope. I'm praying
there's always hope, bro. There's always hope. So there's always hope. Just, you know, we gotta stay positive in this crazy world, but we gotta stay positive. Yeah.
You're right, my brother. I appreciate you as always. Let's sign off until next time. And again, keep those fingers crossed that it's going to be a better, brighter day. And we'll have hope, like Glenn said. Glenn, tell them how they can find you, and you can give them hope on the socials and all that.
Glenn Lawrence Comedy or levelupcomedy.com. Level Up Comedy on all your Facebooks and YouTubes and Twitters and all that good stuff. And Glenn Lawrence Comedy on your Facebooks and YouTubes and Twitters and all that good stuff if you want to have it. Or come right here. Check me out. New Release Wednesday. We're always launching something new. So
yes, sir.
Holla.
Appreciate it, man. And also Fantasy Wife podcast that he's also rocking.
Oh, my Fantasy Wife podcast. Every Wednesday we be dropping those. So except for this coming Wednesday with the election, we're going to watch that. And then we'll be back the following week.
There we go. Love it, man. Appreciate you, bro, as always. And Loy, as you saw, Loy's missing this episode. He will hopefully be back. He's doing his thing in Vegas and doing his thing with Edwin San Juan. Shout out to him again. Much love to those guys. And we'll have Loy back soon. I am Kuyapi, a.k.a. at Temple Far East and at Strange Since 1977. That's my Twitter, Instagram. I'm also here at the NRW with my boy Glenn and Loy, and also at the Nerds of Color, and also over at the Nerds of Color, my brand new show with Viva Valentina and Cataphoric, the Show Pal Show. We just had our premiere week this past week with episode 1 with comedian Edwin San Juan. Episode 2 was me, Kat, and Tina talking about ourselves so you can get to know us when we take you on this ride. And episode 3 that dropped with AAPI community, that's Asian American Pacific Islander community leader, Filipino American activist, Rodney Salinas. we wanted to help drive the vote and talk about why it's important to go out there and vote. So he came on to talk about that. We have a lot of great episodes that we've already taped as well that are going to be coming out. A lot of big things we're doing. We're trying to, celebrate Filipino American culture and our history. We've been doing this thing for a bit, but it's really a show for everybody and for people to learn about our culture. So everyone is welcomed, but we're celebrating us and our accomplishments. So we hope you enjoy the vibe. Mad love as always. Please stay safe. Go vote. Hopefully, by this time this drops, actually, you should have this before. Actually, I'll have this while you're sitting in line because I really need y'all to go vote. This will drop before you're voting. So while you're sitting in line, watch this, enjoy, laugh with us, and then hopefully make this decision as you saw, as we talked about why you need to vote, because there's so many what the fucks. Make this be your drive to stay in that line and keep you entertained while you're in that line and give you that motivation that you're going to make this vote and things are going to change for the next episode. All right.
Hey, man.
I think that's a good way to end this.
Love
you, bro. Stay safe.
Too.
Can't wait to see you soon. And to y'all, please comment below. Let us know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Let's do therapy by communicating and talking to each other and supporting each other, because we are a community and we need to help each other and we love y'all. All right.
Absolutely.
We out of here. Deuces.
Don't waste your time.